Welcome once again to South Coast Radio, where we share the stories behind the music that moves us. And today we are joined by a passionate South African singer songwriter from Pretoria whose music is rooted in real life experiences, faith, and heartfelt storytelling. Balancing fatherhood and his creative journey, he is on a mission to connect with listeners through honest, relatable songs. His brand new single, Genade, is set to release, bringing a powerful message of hope, grace, and perseverance. So, Pierre Henrico, welcome to South Coast Radio. It's great to have you with us. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself, Mr. Ryan, and welcome to all of the listeners as well. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the interview. I appreciate spending time with you guys. Thank you so much.
Great stuff, and we're really great to and honored to have you with us today, Pierre.
Thank you, sir.
So let's start at the beginning. Can you tell us a bit about your journey into music and songwriting?
Yes, sir, no problem. So my musical journey started around about 2012. I was first part of a local church in the worship area, and I was actually a drummer, quite funny enough. I actually started out in drums or playing drums,
Wow.
and one night at practice, they accidentally, luckily, I don't know really how to put it, they set up a mic close to the drumming station, and yeah, the next week I was removed from the drums and I was standing in front of the church singing. That's where I really, first of all, found out that I actually had a voice. Obviously, a little bit work needed to be done and stuff, but yeah, as the English, they would say, the rest is history.
True.
In 2014, I picked up the guitar as well, just for a little bit of extra. I think, it's nice to flow with a voice and a guitar. It's as if I can feel better where I need to go.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, the rest is history, and here we are today. Grateful for the journey that I had.
Really awesome stuff, Pierre. So you're drawn to country music and honest storytelling. What is it about that style that resonates with you?
Yes, sir, that's absolutely correct. I think you pretty much summed it up, in asking the question. It's about the storytelling and the realness that I find in country.
Uh-huh.
I think, if I just switch off and you sit and listen, to country, it's like you can literally feel every raw emotion, of the writer and the singer of that song. And I think it's important, for me as a singer-songwriter to be able to take the listener on a journey with me. But it's important that I know the destination of the journey. I think it's something that's important, for me to know where I'm taking, the listener. And so it's just in the realness and the storytelling, and that to me it sums up music and a good singer-songwriter in itself.
Really awesome stuff, Pierre. And you've mentioned that your music is shaped by your personal testimony. How has your life journey influenced your songwriting?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Like I just said, in the previous answer as well, I think it's important to be able to sing about something that you went through, and, not only just sing about maybe a problem or a scenario that you encountered, but also a solution, to it.
Yeah.
So it's taking, the listener and telling them, listen, I'm just a man on this side, of the notes and of the music as well. And just for, to be able for them to relate back to you and saying, but I go through the same things, I struggle with the same problems, but you say that there's hope, after all of these things, and I think that's important, to keep that in mind while you are writing and taking your learners on this journey, the listener on this journey.
Great stuff, Pierre. You're also a devoted father to two sons. How does fatherhood inspire and shape your music and your drive as an artist?
Well, it makes me believe that the impossible is possible. I think if you look in their eyes, with everything that's going around, currently in the world, the high fuel prices, the high food, whatever, it sometimes makes you negative. But if you
Yeah.
focus on them, they give you that drive to just try harder, and you know that with inside of you, there's no giving up. You need to keep on pushing to make a success of whatever is to come. And
100%.
I think it's just having a thing in mind that's got eternal value as well. I think it's important that we do not only chase things that will maybe last for a week or a month, but chase eternal things, and to make sure that they also learn to know the King in everything that they do.
Really awesome stuff, Pierre. And you've already released songs like your version of Sand in My Boots and
Yes.
and your original track, which was Opa. What did those songs mean to you at that stage in your journey?
Yeah, so I've been singing for a while, since 2012. So I did Sand in My Boots, just to feel out, a little bit of the market, and then obviously the love for country. And then Morgan Wallen, well known, so one of
Yes.
my favorite artists, and I needed
Also,
to just try and do one of his songs as well. So that's for the country. Opa was a more personal journey for myself. I lost my granddad in March of 2024, and he played an integral part in my life. And so Opa I wrote as a tribute, to a man that had an invaluable impact, in my life. So that was Opa, but I think Opa was written for a little bit of a niche market. And then obviously Genade, I think it's something and a substance that we need on a daily basis. I think it's a little bit more open to the general public as well. I think people will be able to relate a little bit more with Genade than maybe Opa and then Sand in My Boots as well.
really awesome stuff, Pierre. So let's talk about your new single, Genade. What inspired this song?
Well, I went through a very dark time, in my personal life at the end of 2023. Unfortunately, I became part of the statistics, of a broken marriage and a divorce. I'm not going to go, into much detail, but
Okay.
that's where Genade was born. And I think as we are raised up, in church, and as we go through our lives, we hear the phrase that His grace is sufficient for me, so much times, but it almost becomes like a cliche type of thing until grace is the only thing that you have left. And in those moments, where I lost everything, where people walked away, I only had my 2 boys, I lost my house, all of these type of things, Genade was truly born. Grace, God's grace was truly born, and that's where the song Genade comes from.
Wow, that's really awesome stuff, Pierre. So the
Thank you.
you're welcome. So the song touches on themes, as you've mentioned, of faith, grace, and hope. What message do you want listeners to take from it?
I prayed over this song, before I released it. I went into my inner room, and I don't want to make it a religious thing. It's just, I'm trusting this song to be a anthem of hope for people that go through the same, or going through, or maybe will go through the same, as I went through.
Yes.
And it's just to bring a message of hope and to say that please never give up. It's never over. Sometimes you think that the sun setting will be the last time because everything is just overwhelming you, and it's just, being too much for you, but there is hope. His name is Jesus, and there will be another tomorrow. Keep on keeping on, and do not give up. That's the message that I hope to bring forth through this song.
That's really awesome stuff, Pierre. And now you've worked with Rudy Kleinheld on production as well, with Byron on the final mix. What was that experience like, bringing this song to life?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most fulfilling moments in an artist or a singer-songwriter's life, is when the words that you put down in black and white, on the paper becomes life to you. It begins to live. It's forming into this and to that, and it's for me an absolute privilege, at this stage in my life to be working with people of that caliber.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I think it's one of the greatest feelings of accomplishment, when a song starts to live. Rudy with his years of experience, in the guitar work and stuff. So we will sit and we will just play. I'll tiki-tockle on my side and he's on his side, and then together something is born. And that whole journey is just exceptional from start to beginning.
Fantastic, Pierre. So Genade brings a fresh take on Afrikaans country. How would you describe your sound to someone hearing you for the first time?
I would hope that it's a sound of freedom. It's definitely got the country vibe. But my prayer is and my hope is that people will see beyond the specific genre that it's in. It's just the message behind the song. So I hope that people will hear a sound of hope and of freedom, as I said, and then obviously just with a little bit of touch of country that makes it just extra more special.
Great stuff, Pierre. Okay, so you've also mentioned a music video on the works. What can fans look forward to next from you?
Yes, sir. There is a music video currently in the works. We are starting, production on that soon. I don't want to mention too much. I'm gonna drop subtle hints, on my social media platforms. So if the listeners can maybe just go and follow me there, they'll be up to speed soon. Mm-hmm. And then obviously I write as much as I possibly can on not on a daily basis, but as soon as the words come, I'm writing it. So awesome new songs, in I call it the Pierre Vault as well. So a lot of new awesome content to look forward to, and soon to be on the horizon and to see daylight as well.
Awesome, really great stuff, Pierre. Just one more question before we close off with the interview, like you've mentioned. So where can the listeners find your song Genade as well as your other releases, and also follow you online?
All of my releases, Sand in My Boots, Opa and Genade, is available on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, the works, everything, YouTube. And then I am found on Facebook as Pierre Henrico Music, also on Instagram as well as on TikTok. So my handle, Pierre Henrico Music, or just Pierre Henrico. But if you put it into the search bar, you'll be able to find me real quick.
Great stuff, Pierre. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your journey and the heart behind your music. It's really been awesome having you with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan, to you as well, and to the South Coast team. Thank you so much, and also for providing the little bit smaller artists, with a platform as well to come and introduce ourselves. I really appreciate it, and it was awesome spending time with you and with the listeners. Thank you so much.
Awesome. It was really great having you with us today, Pierre, once again, and it's a privilege. And also to the listeners, Genade sounds like a truly meaningful release, and we're excited for listeners to experience it. So be sure to stream Genade when it drops, as it's already dropped, I'm sure already, so which is on all major platforms.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.